Stay tuned for the fact check so you can hear all the facts that were wrong.
Hello.
Hi.
We just completed
Easter egg.
We just completed a big interview. We're not going to say it. We're going to be so elusive.
Should we have pretended I just came from an event?
You dressed up for this guest.
Yeah.
And the last time you did that was...
I think I've only worn a suit one other time.
Letterman?
I thought it was Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, I won't wear a suit for Letterman when I get invited to his dinner party.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Very mixed message. We just finished recording an episode that will be out in a few weeks. So you have to wait. You have to be so patient.
To see who I wore a suit for.
Who did Dax wear a suit for? And...
Is that your very favorite top?
It's new.
It's new.
Yeah.
And is it the one you were feeling most bullish? Like, I guess what I'm asking is, did you save it?
I consider wearing it yesterday. Because we had also a great interview yesterday.
Yeah, really, really fun yesterday.
And so I was considering wearing it then, and then I decided to hold off today. I mean, obviously, we'll talk more about that episode on that episode. It was a big one, and it was a long time coming.
Oh, I have an update.
Okay.
So yeah, we recorded yesterday, and when I went to go in the sauna after work, I took off my clothes in the kitchen and put on my bathing suit because it was downstairs and I want to go upstairs. And as I took my pants off, I realized, oh, you're wearing 2 pairs of underwear.
Oh my.
So yesterday in that interview, I was wearing 2 pairs of underwear.
Oh, interesting.
This may not shock you. It was the same mysterious pair of underwear.
The elephants?
The elephants. So the elephants are
wily.
There's something going on with this pair of panties. So what had happened was the night before I took off my pants.
Yeah.
And I had worn boxers that day.
Okay.
So I hung up my pants on a hook in my closet.
Okay.
And then in the morning, I was like scrambling to get ready to take the girls. And I grabbed a pair of fresh panties, the elephants, put them on, they're snug. And then I just got into my pants, not even realizing the boxers were still in there from the day before.
Oh my, you didn't even feel it?
I didn't.
Weird.
Is that bad? I did have a slight memory of the time I went to the bathroom. I kind of was like, oh, I'm wearing boxers. I can use the barn door. No, I'm not. I'm wearing my elephant panties. I think I had felt the barn door boxers and then was like, no, I'm wearing elephant.
You second guess yourself. You should always trust your gut.
I blew past it and then it was just a fun discovery.
Wow.
Like, have you ever worn 2 pairs of underwear on accident?
I don't want to say never because I don't want to seem like above
Prude?
you. Well, I just don't want to act like so superior.
Actually, you don't want to seem loose. I think it's prude to wear a couple pairs of underwear.
But also it's like
something perverse.
It's like you're just a mess.
I think that's more what it was on that given day.
You're just a mess. You don't even know what you're doing.
I don't know how many pairs of underwear I'm wearing.
Yeah.
That was a fun pop out though. And that second time those undies have been a pop out.
I wonder what's next.
I wonder what's next too.
I'm excited. Do you mind if I take a quick pause and order a coffee?
Oh yeah, please do. That sounds fun.
I need it.
Yeah, me too. Well, our adrenaline was high.
Yeah,
we're on the come down.
That's what it is. Okay, I'm ordering from Cookbook. It's a great place. Sorry about that. You just got very hungry and thirsty.
Had you eaten breakfast?
I had an apple. Okay, I don't like apples.
Yeah, okay.
But I was at Cookbook.
Oh my gosh.
I went to Cookbook.
This morning?
No, this weekend.
Okay.
It's a really, really cute market here in Los Angeles. It's kind of like McCall's.
Oh, okay, great. Love McCall's.
I decided I wanted to go there to replenish my spices.
Okay. Because you thought they had gone bad?
I've been in a real spring cleaning moment.
I don't understand how all you women are all synced on everything you're doing, because this is exactly what Kristen's been doing. Well, and I bet all the other women in the pod have been doing it too.
It's the new year. I think at the beginning of the year, you feel like you want to shed.
Okay.
You just want to get rid of a bunch of stuff, start clean and minimal.
Really quick, I wonder if that's geographical because, of course, in Michigan, you do spring cleaning.
Right.
Which makes sense because everything's going to be fresh and you want everything to be fresh. But in a city with no seasons,
sure,
you have to just arbitrarily go, okay, first of the year makes sense.
Yeah. For me, it's always first of the year. It's like, we got to start new.
Do you ever say start anew? Because that's a thing people say. I don't.
That's old timey.
Okay.
Have you heard that joke? It's like a little too real this year, but LA does have seasons. It has 2, fire and awards.
Oh, okay.
So I went to Cookbook to plan my spices.
Yeah.
And I got a little carried away in there because everything's so cute.
Yeah.
And fun and bespoke, a word you hate.
I don't hate bespoke, if you recall.
I thought you were
Our guest didn't like it. I don't like atelier.
Right, but I thought you were adding bespoke to the mix.
I was just saying it's similar, but people don't overuse bespoke too much.
Okay.
I don't think people are using bespoke to seem fancy. Or maybe they are.
I was just now.
Okay. Well, I'm open to changing my opinion on how I feel about it.
Okay. Well, they had these little apples. And they were so little. But not those little baby ones people have.
Not like Yodi.
Not like Yodi, more like a Calvin.
Okay, yeah.
And I thought they were so cute, so I got a few. And then I also bought this new nut butter from there. Oh. And it's so good.
Oh, wow. So what kind of nut is it made from?
Almond.
Oh, okay.
But it's from a farm. It's jarred there. Very bespoke.
I'm sorry, I keep putting in the gutter, but nut butter does sound weird to me.
It is, yeah, because it sounds like duck butter.
And it's nuts, like butter from the nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I ate an apple today.
And you loved it. How big is it? If you were to describe, it's bigger than a ping pong ball. Is it like the size of a tangerine?
Yeah, probably.
Or a little cutie?
More in the cutie, but more round.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cuties are often squash. They're more oval.
Exactly. So you have to think of it round, but yeah, that size.
That's a tiny apple. There's 3 bites.
I know, it's so cute.
Aren't you into the core too quick?
I have to cut it up. I don't like the sensation of biting into an apple.
Okay.
So I cut it still into quarters.
Okay. I almost eat apples exclusively for that sensation of biting in.
Doesn't hurt your teeth?
I love it. I feel like it's cleaning my teeth.
Well, I have heard, or maybe you told me.
My mother always said, if you don't have a toothbrush, eat an apple.
An apple a day.
Keeps the dentist away.
That's right. And the doctor, apparently. Very healthy product.
Yes. So you loved it and you ate just one and you were satiated?
I ate one with some of the nut butter.
Oh, okay.
I'll just say I'm hungry now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hungry now. Post adrenaline dump. I have a couple housekeepings.
Okay, great.
We have a new fun game.
Yes. Explain it.
I kept calling it the armchair map. And I was saying, oh, it's kind of like a detective's map where one thing leads to another. And the way it works is there's a quote from somebody. So at this point, it will already have been out. So people have probably already seen it. But this past week had a quote from Sam Richardson on Allison Jones. And then the next quote is Allison Jones on Julia Louis-Dreyfus. And then the third is Julia Louis-Dreyfus on question mark. It's a blank.
That's where the riddle is.
Yeah, that's where it's a fun riddle and a fun game.
Yeah.
And it's on stories. So you can click the people. I think it's going to be fun.
And then the last thing, you can click to a link to find out the answer?
Exactly.
Oh, incredible.
You don't have to listen to the whole episode, but it will go directly to that spot and you'll hear the little clip.
Yeah.
And then next week, I'll start with that person. And then every week, we're going to just snake through that little catalog of
This
ours.
could be a huge challenge for you to try to eventually knock out all 860 guests.
I'm excited.
That's going to be tough.
I'm going to do it.
We might have to start dropping some in inorganically.
We're not doing that.
Okay.
We're not doing that. Oh, but I decided to name it. This is for our real hardcore listeners who really get us, Armchair Lacuna.
Oh.
Because you know Lacuna, my favorite word.
Yeah.
Even you don't know?
No. I mean, I know that you like that word, but I have forgotten what the meaning of lacuna is.
It means basically a missing gap.
A missing gap.
Yes. Because there's a lacuna in science. It's that's the missing gap in science that people need to fill. So
the missing link, we would say in science.
Sure. And this is a missing gap game.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's going to be called Armchair Lacuna?
Get it?
Every time you say it, I know I always say Lacuna Matata because that's what it makes me think
It's going to be called Armchair Lacuna Matata.
That would be great. sign off on that.
And that's from Yuval. Yuval taught us about lacuna, and now it's my favorite word.
I got 4 electric motorcycles.
Cool.
For the family.
Nice.
We took our inaugural ride through the neighborhood yesterday.
Ooh.
It's really fun. I don't think there's a moment where the similarities and the differences are so stark between Lincoln and I and Mom and Delta.
Okay.
Mom and Delta ride the exact same way. And it's very comical. It's very fun.
You make fun of them?
Never. I'm very supportive. I'm so happy that they're willing to join.
Yeah.
But they both get spooked pretty easy.
Oh, sure.
They're going much slower.
I would be spooked.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot, you know. Yeah. And they're fast.
Yeah, that's scary.
I was very proud of Delta. She's almost not tall enough for it.
Oh.
She's got to be on her tiptoes when she stopped.
Oh, boy.
She had a couple episodes, but she really bailed out perfectly and everything was hunky-dory.
Okay.
But Lincoln's like popping wheelies and riding super fast.
Well, she's popping wheelies, but her feet fit. That's not really fair.
Also, we're so similar in this domain.
Sure.
Yeah. But it was incredibly fun. My bad mood broke.
Good.
Yeah, it was almost like a fever. Like a fever breaking. Yeah.
I think it broke yesterday.
In our meeting. In our
meeting, I could tell.
Yeah, we had a company meeting, which we've never had. Which is insane if you think about it. But we had Emma on Zoom, and it was the 3 of us in here.
Yeah.
And it was instantly really fun.
Good. I felt that you had released something.
Yeah. Emma just really makes me smile too.
Oh,
she reminds me
nice.
so much of my 2 girl cousins. And she had a stupid dog on her lap.
She did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Emma gets credit for that. That's a hard one to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow.
I'm not giving her credit for it. I'm saying the whole meeting was so fun.
Okay, good.
But I get a bang out. I don't ever see Emma.
I know.
And when I see her, I'm like, oh, that's right. Emma's delightful.
She is. She's an absolute delight. I love her. I love her.
I love her too.
I love her first.
And then I just had a spring in my step the rest of the day, which was very nice.
Good.
Yeah. Still going a bit early.
That's okay.
I like it. I hope I can keep it going.
It's also because it's dark early still, and apparently 6 more weeks of winter because of Pugwani.
Oh, it didn't go our way?
No.
Paxawana?
Yeah,
what is it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Puxawani.
Do you think people ever really believed it?
I never believed it until now.
Okay.
Now everyone's talking about it like, yeah, it's bad.
What is he? He's a chipmunk? No, he's
a groundhog.
Groundhog. And if he sees his shit.
Punxsutawney, you're right.
I only know that because of the great movie Groundhog's Day.
I've never seen it.
You haven't? Mm-mm. Oh, Monica.
I know. It's one of those that just my Indian parents.
Well, here we go.
What's the first movie you ever saw in the movie theater?
I think 10. And will you look that up, Rob? Because I know I was wrong about
oh yeah.
about Scarface.
Yeah.
I was actually 8. I was the old age of 8, so I shouldn't have been so traumatized by the chainsaw butchering scene.
Sure.
This came out in 1979.
There we go. So that's Bo Derek naked on a beach.
In 1979?
Yeah. And
you were 4?
My Papa Bob took me to that. I tell you, my Papa just took me to any movie he wanted to see.
Sure,
because I was his buddy on the weekend. And he'd be like, we're going to... Quo Vadis was the movie theater. Quo Vadis.
Oh, wow.
And it was a shrine to movie theater. It was like a tiled exterior, which I had never seen.
They let you in?
Well, sure. It wasn't NC-17.
Was it R?
Oh, yeah. But I think my Papa Bob went to see Bo Derek naked.
Of course.
And brought me.
He's your grandpa.
Yeah, he's my sweet grandpa. This is just reminding me that I had a teacher in high school. This is how much things have changed and how inappropriate this was, but yet had no problem saying this.
Yeah.
In probably 10th grade, he was explaining, it was like a religion class, and he was just explaining that Judaism doesn't have a hell.
Right. Okay.
Like Christians have a hell.
Right.
But Judaism doesn't have a hell or a devil, even though it's Old Testament.
Right. Okay.
And he said that's why Jewish women were more sexual.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, that was in a class.
There's so many things that are problematic. One is that isn't true. There's nothing to substantiate that.
That's
they're
his
more
opinion. Sexual. Yeah, maybe he hooked up with one Jewish girl and blew his mind. And he was like, why is this girl so...
And he had to tell his whole class about it.
He had to figure out why. He's like, oh, it must be because she's not afraid to go to hell. And then I'm going to I'm going to tell everyone.
Now that's true. So I'm going to teach that to these children. Wow.
He also told a gay joke out loud.
Oof.
Yeah. You want to hear the gay joke?
No.
Even if you cut it out?
Sure.
He said, what's the difference between a gay man and a freezer?
What?
The freezer doesn't fart when you pull the meat out.
Oh my God.
In
that
class.
was the joke?
Yeah, in class.
Wait, how old? What grade?
10th or 11th grade.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's like more than a gay joke. That is also sexual. This guy is
He was
perverted.
fine.
No.
You know what it was? Is he had teenage sons. He had like a 18 and a 20-year-old son. I think he was hearing their jokes and he was just repeating them to us.
For someone who's awfully spidey sensed,
Yeah, he does.
I have it.
You have it.
I have that about him.
It's an anal sex joke, really.
Yeah.
The joke could have been, what's the difference between a freezer and women who have anal sex? That would have been I think you would have lost everyone at the setup.
He is extremely sexual.
I don't think he was that sexual, but.
You have to admit, this is one of those things is wild. Two, that's a pattern.
I had him several times though over the years. I think it was spread out by a year or two.
Still.
I don't know why I'm defending him. Well, I liked him. He's a very nice guy. That's why. He was one of these fun teachers, you're excited to go to his class.
Yeah, most of the...
What? He's like talking about sex.
Maybe this is a teaching moment for people.
All right.
Most of the people you think who are molesters are not like... They're this like creepy old creep in the corner. Like they're good at grooming and getting people to think they're charming. And it's
interesting. See, I have a totally different point of view, which is like I'm outwardly perverted and then I'm not secretly perverted. I think it's more Cosby who's like lecturing people on propriety and he's secretly I think that's more
okay. That's
for my money.
Interesting take. But grooming is very specific and it's someone who's just like a creep in the corner is not going to be good at groom. Well, some of them maybe. But.
I think you're right in that groomers are like gregarious and outgoing and flattering and kind. But I also don't think they ever do anything sexual or talk about anything like that. I do think that's true for the most part.
I don't think.
They try to come off as like, I'm the one guy who loves being around 13-year-old girls, but for no real reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't be like coach of a 13-year-old soccer team. Girls and make pervy jokes. It's off the table.
Yeah, no.
Right. We agree.
Yes.
It's the super G-rated, friendly, supportive guy that's the groomer. That's building trust and confidence with the parents.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jackson, like, I'm a child. I'm not even sexual.
Oh, God. Yeah, I know.
Right?
But also, I think it depends on the age. Yes, when they're like 13 or 14 or 15, 14 or younger, if they said something sexual, that's obviously a teacher would be like, a parent would be like, that person has to be fired immediately.
Yep.
But once you get into that 11th, 12th grade.
Yeah, where we're kind of adults. We're having sex.
Exactly.
A lot of the students are having sex.
Then grooming becomes a different game.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now, there was a groomer at my school, but he was like everyone's best friend. And he didn't make any pervy jokes.
He did not to
Moving
you.
on.
You weren't the one he was grooming.
I know.
Did someone tell
I know what
you?
I want to say.
Okay.
We always try to shine a light on great TV shows we love, documentaries, books.
Yeah.
I want to shine a light on Chappelle's monologue.
Oh, my God.
On SNL a few weeks back. I've watched it 4 or 5 times.
I watched it multiple times, too.
It is so great. That just made me think of him saying, I'm ugly. It's such a good monologue. It's like incredibly funny, and then it's impossibly poignant at the end. And
it's a little risky. It's him. It's everything that makes him so great.
Yeah.
In just one 10-minute thing. It's so good because Chappelle, I know there's issues, right? People have issues with things he said, and I don't agree with everything he said. But if you hear him interviewed, and it's rare,
yeah,
he's religious. he is Muslim and he is very into being good.
Yeah, mindful and thoughtful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And obviously in comedy that gets put on a shelf, but then you hear it as this like very subtle through line. He'll pop that in.
His spirit, it comes out.
Yeah. And in this monologue, he comments on Trump's bringing up that people are eating dogs. The Haitians are eating dogs and cats in Ohio. And he says, I'm from there. He's not like, I'm from there and that was really bad.
Right.
But he said like, that annoyed me because I'm from there and that's not what happened. This is what happened.
Yep.
And then he tells this very sweet, and he's not trying to be self-congratulatory. It's like on its way to a joke. But he just slips in that he went to those restaurants.
Yeah. He said, if it's safe for me here, it's safe for you.
Every day to eat and support those businesses. And like, obviously, I don't think that's the part people are necessarily taking, but it is what I took.
That's like the best monologue I've ever seen, I think.
It was incredible. And then he pulls it all the way back around to empathy. And
oh, God.
Really, really, really something.
That's why I hate poor people. They can't see through their own pain.
It's so funny. Yeah. I highly recommend watching that.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Well, that's a ding, ding, ding.
Oh.
Because stand-up, comedian, Chelsea.
Yes.
Chelsea. We fucking love Chelsea.
She's so fun.
She's so fun. She is
She's getting better and better
smart.
too. Every time we talk to her, it's
exactly.
Yeah.
That seems to be her goal in life, is to just like get better at all things.
Yeah.
And I really adore her.
I adore her too.
Okay, the Critics' Choice Awards. She said, oh yeah, we recorded on the Wednesday of the fire. So Tuesdays when the first of it started. So Wednesday, it hadn't gotten crazy yet, but it still did. The Eaton fire started Tuesday night. So it was like all starting, but we didn't know how intense everything was going to get. And so she said at that point, even the Critics' Choice Awards were pushed to the 26th because of the fires. But since then, they've been pushed to February 7th, which is Friday. No, it was Friday.
Yeah. Congratulations, everyone who won a Critics'
Congratulations.
Choice.
Oh, speaking of that, we have a playlist out of all the award nominated people, guests that we've ever had.
Which is now getting voluminous. It's
a big list. And we did Grammys, Critics' Choice, SAG, Oscar, Golden Globe.
Did you see Cynthia Erivo sing on the Grammys by chance? She played with Herbie Hancock.
Oh, amazing.
They did a Sinatra song.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty wild.
The best.
Yeah.
She's on there.
Yep.
She's on the playlist. But yeah, so just the nominees for this year who we've had on. And we got a lot. We have a lot of them.
My girls are getting old enough where they have like interests that I didn't introduce them to.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's been going on for a while, but this was the first time that like Lincoln needed to watch the Grammys.
Oh, cool.
And that shouldn't be anything. There feels like some tension parentally.
Oh, tell me.
Well, I think because I'm watching her get enamored with celebrity.
Okay.
On some level. And they've kind of been inoculated to that with actors because they have met a lot of them and they're not that impressive.
Yeah.
So I get a knee jerk, like, worshiping celebrities a weird thing. That's like, this just goes through my mind. And then I go, I always watch the Academy Awards. Like in Michigan, none of my friends understood. I remember Aaron and I were one time out drinking for the day. And I was like, we got to find a bar that's showing the Academy Awards. He's like, why do we need to sit? And we found this fucking shithole bar in South Lyon and I made them put on the Academy Awards. Yeah. No one in there wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I wanted to watch that and I liked it.
Even then you wanted to. Yeah. See, that's interesting. You act like you...
Well, I was 19. I think I had, or even 20. Maybe I'd already moved to California.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was interested in it and I wanted to see it. And so I quickly talk myself out of anything. I don't know why it even crosses my mind that it's just weird to see them get excited about like celebrity culture.
Well, that's funny. I have a few responses to that.
Oh, please hit me.
One is I grew up watching the Oscars, the Golden Globes, really those two.
Yeah.
But I had to watch it. There was no option. And I was young doing that.
Yeah.
For my whole life. Ironically, I stopped once I kind of got here and started knowing people and stuff. I was like, I don't necessarily need, although sometimes it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. It's a fun party. But I think it's incredible to want to aspire for something and to see this thing that's hard to have and want it.
I agree. And also I'll tell you where I came to once it was playing in the background and I was like making dinner. I was like, actually, if there's any award show I'd want them to watch, it would be the Grammys because you're actually seeing them do their talent.
Sure.
They get up and perform. Every 2 seconds, there's an incredible performance.
Yeah.
Like, you're not watching the actors act.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some clips. So that I'm just saying that one is way more, you could argue, is way more celebrity culture because you're just like, oh, here's those people in movies. I don't get to see them in real life.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, of course you should watch the Grammys. They're performing and you love these songs and this music.
Hi. Oh my God. Thank you. I needed that. Just because it was cold. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Look at this
Kristen's
fun
here.
outfit.
It's cozy.
It's Skims.
You were at choir the whole time the Grammys was on, yeah?
Not until the end.
You saw some of it, right? Yeah, we saw Cynthia Erivo singing
Fly Me to the Moon.
Fly Me to the Moon with Herbie Hancock.
The nails?
Yeah, I did. They were incredible. Also, she pulled a U. Did you see that?
I'm sorry. What?
Cynthia, I need you to be on mic, but Cynthia pulled a U where we cut to Taylor Swift and Cynthia is like sitting next to her in like a half chair because she couldn't get to her seat. And it's what you did at the Golden Globes with Cynthia. This is sort of like armchair
Did Cynthia manifest that like I manifested at the Golden Globes?
I think so.
She's
paying it forward.
She is paying it forward.
Who's Taylor gonna sit next to?
Oh my gosh.
Me, I hope.
That was, to date, one of the best moments of my life.
People don't know, Kristen at the Golden Globes didn't make it to her seat in time after commercial, right?
Right.
And then they cut to Cynthia and Ariana, and Kristen's just in the middle.
Well, sort of. I had been down chatting. So there's like tiers,
okay,
kind of like farming.
Yeah,
and it's very the
segregated.
Yep. Yeah. The movie people are in the center pool, and then the TV people, the TV actors, and then the people who actually make all the stuff and are responsible for all the real projects, the workers.
The reason everyone's there.
Are on the outskirts. And I was in the middle row, at the middle tier, and I went down to go talk to Ben and Melissa, and I lost track of time. This isn't going to shock anyone. And I ran down, because I think you were probably watching the game or something. And I ran down and...
well, we ran down together. You just got a little sidetracked. I made it back in time and you, like the door was slamming and Indiana Jones.
Is that correct?
Yeah, we both went down together.
Oy.
Because I remember passing you and thinking, oh, she's gonna be down to the wire on this one. I think the band's queuing up.
The band was queuing up and then the lights went down and Nikki came out on stage and I just went like this.
Right.
And for the listener, she just ducked.
Yep, she did a duck down.
And I already couldn't barely sit in that dress.
Oh, yeah.
And I ducked down and then I just kind of like, I don't know.
You scooted.
Army crawl?
Yeah, a little bit, trying to go to my seat.
That would have been great if they would have cut to you truly army crawling.
And then they'd go, that's why we don't let you in the center circle.
That's right.
And then Cynthia saw me sneaking past her chair and she goes, what on earth are you doing? And I was like, I gotta get to my seat. And she was like, no, come. And then Ariana was like, here, share my seat. And then I sat there and then over the course of the next 5 seconds, they both took my hands.
I know.
And I was in the center of the finger holding.
I know.
From the Wicked Press Tour. And I was like, just taking it in. And then when I came to, I clocked that Nikki Glazer had started to do a Wicked bit. And then my smile from like enjoying this fangirl moment went to, oh my God, they're about to cut to them. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. People are going to be like, oh, and then I just whispered into their ears. I went, I'm so sorry. and they almost, I feel like my memory is that it was at the same time. They both turned to me and they go, we're so happy you're here.
Oh my God. Is it implanted?
Right.
And see, Cynthia's got my hand, and then I was crossed because Ariana had grabbed the other hand. The whole thing was just a dream.
You look like you're really hanging on by a thread. And
look, I was
your interlocked arms with Ariana.
And holding hands with Cynthia.
And holding space for Wicked.
Which your Christmas tree was Wicked. It all circles back. You did manifest it.
You came up. I missed it, obviously. I couldn't see it because I was in the nosebleeds. But you came up and you were so shook. And you're like, it happened.
Well, because I love to love things. And I think like people might assume that if you're in this business and see projects happening around you, that they just become mundane. They do not. And I was so into Wicked, so into it. I feel like I'm a Comic-Con fangirl just waiting to manifest a moment like that.
This circles back to what we were talking about before you entered, which is that Lincoln was watching the Grammys and you were saying, Dax was saying that at first it was kind of like irking him that I
had this weird dilemma. Do you have this at all? Like she had turned it on her own and she was watching it and my knee jerk was like, oh, I don't want her to get obsessed with celebrity culture. I didn't say anything and I came to like, no, I loved the Academy Awards. Like, it's a thing, but it's just weird that I have this knee jerk of like, well, I don't want her to be obsessed with celebrity culture.
Well, anytime there's an unhealthy avenue in a want, I think we get concerned for our kids because you may do that when she turns on an award show. I do that when they start to eat a candy bar. I go, right. Oh, I really hope
because it's a fine line. Yeah. It can cross over, but as long as it stays in the line, then you should always hope that you have some joy for it.
Within 10 minutes, I was like, oh, no, I'm fine with it. It's great. And look how happy she is. But I just had this thought of like, oh, I don't want her to worship these people.
But she also specifically watches the Grammys over anything else because she loves to sing. She's obsessed with music. She's obsessed with learning how to sing, doing plays at her school. So like she wants to see all the singers, and there's a way you could view that she's obsessed with this craft.
Yes.
She wants to see the best singers.
Also, it's okay if she's obsessed with
I thought you were going to say something totally different because you're such a known contrarian. And that you would have this opinion, I thought. Were you irked at all about how much of the firefighters and the LA fires were featured on the Grammys?
I don't know if I'm allowed to answer, but boy, do you know me very well.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
Every single interview was about it. I get worried when I think I'm witnessing pandering or virtue signaling. So it's interesting because I am so fucking grateful for the firefighters, like truly in my heart. I'm so blown away. I'm so grateful for them. They're fucking awesome. And yet I did feel uncomfortable with every single conversation. It just felt like if I were in the rest of the country, I would feel like, was everyone given a script? This is all they can talk about?
Let me ask you a couple follow-ups. Does it change your opinion that they raised $7 million during that show?
I think it's great that they raised $7 million.
What is the alternative? Not featuring any firefighters and not raising $7 million?
Oh, I don't mind that firefighters were there, and I don't mind that they donated the money of the show to it. It was that every single interview on the red carpet was about it, and the way the interviewers were being very saccharine about everything. It started to feel a little disingenuous. I guess that's my main. But I didn't say one word out loud.
But I read there was an op-ed in the LA Times. And let me start by saying, like, I do respect everyone's opinion and they're all allowed to have their own opinion. But I just, in my bones, vehemently so disagreed with this because it said the Grammys were trying to give credit to the firefighters and ended up using everyone involved in the fire as pawns, basically. And I sat there and I thought, was that true? Let me think about it. Let me read a little bit of this. And after reading it, I thought, what is the alternative? That
what
they
is
don't
the
mention the LA fires at all and that they don't raise $7 million? Or let me give you an even crueler alternative. That they have a charity event with no Grammy artists, no celebrities whatsoever, that nobody watches, and then $100 is raised. And I'm like so clearly going to choose the utilitarian outcome there. But it did make me think that about how saccharine it can become, and you don't want anyone to feel like they're used as pawns, but there is no alternative. And I, for one, liked seeing how much they were saying, thank you for saving our area.
Yeah, and that's why I never said anything out loud. I would have never brought up my opinion. I didn't even know that thing was written. But like everything, it's just what is your childhood? And when I'm triggered by people who are broadcasting how good they are. I'm nervous.
Because it might be
I think they're deceptive. Yeah.
What for the actual firefighters themselves, what is getting exploited?
If I needed to find a motive, I would say someone's like, look how good I am. I'm so concerned about this. And
So yeah, that's like bragging, I guess, right?
Or just like virtue signaling. I think it triggers whatever baggage I have about religious people growing up.
Sure.
They were so pious. And
but there's
had
a hypocrisy there. That's what's triggering, right?
Yes. And so that's what I'm saying. Like none of it is true.
Yeah.
It's just my knee jerk is like, this feels a little too grandstandy, as I thought the religious people who were very pious in preaching their purity, and I thought they were all full of shit.
And they were full of shit. But I think these people, everyone in this city is not full of shit when they are saying this fucking sucked. We appreciate these firefighters. The city's sort of in sham. You know, everyone here is
particularly the Grammys, because musicians are known to have things like Band-Aid, you know, all the We Are the World, like they're known to band together and raise money for causes with their art, way more than actors are.
But it's a natural thing to think. I mean, we've talked about it because Kristen's going to host the SAG Awards.
Virtue signaler. Oh, sorry.
All she does is virtue signal. And it's like, pull it back. Mm-hmm. She's hosting the SAG Awards. And so we've, of course, had these conversations. Yeah. What are we going to do? How are we going to do it?
Don't invite any actors, just invite firefighters.
Yeah.
It didn't.
That'd be a hot room.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to push back a tiny bit on virtue signaling. I also don't like it. I also have a lot of experience in the philanthropy space, which I've been in since I've been 25 years old. And let me start by saying, never is there bigger egos than in the philanthropy space.
For sure.
But as we've learned, Cricks?
Yeah, they're here. They're here to stay. There's nothing we can do.
Thousands in that garage door.
As we've learned that emotions are contagious, which is proven.
Yeah.
And we are chimps and we watch our alphas. Dare I say, without virtue signaling, kindness, compassion, empathy, giving, generosity might not travel at the speed it travels unless people talk about it. And there's obviously a fine line because you want to do it with humility and
it needs to be genuine.
It needs to be genuine.
That's the main. It just has to be real.
It's like anything else. Like there's great people in AA and there's fucking terrible people in AA. And there's great people volunteering and there's people just trying to get a pat on the back. So
sure.
I always, though, I hope you know, I'm grateful that people are the way they are. I'm very grateful not everyone is cynical like me, or not even cynical, skeptical. And I'm glad that I'm skeptical because you guys need me sometimes. And this is a time where we need the really optimistic helpers. And I know to shut up and get out of the way and not share my opinion when I'm watching it. So it's like, I don't think one's bad or good. I think I'm one thing and you're naturally this way and you're naturally that way. And there's a time for me. When the guy comes to the door selling you steaks, the Dax steps up. You know,
but
and
so
there's
yummy.
Another time that I sit down and shut the fuck up.
I have needed a lot of your guidance over the years and yours, Monica, because I'm so like just ready to wear my heart on my sleeve and be like, and just believe any story without a second thought. And I've needed both of you to talk me off a ledge a couple times of like, does this really seem like the best use of your time or use of your money?
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
Will this really impact anything?
Right. Think about the impact.
Yeah. I mean, the defeatist in me is like when they raise money, I'm like, this is a $253 billion issue. What is throwing any amount of money other than the government and these huge insurance companies? Like, we're making all these people on the ground try to offset this thing that is so enormous. You know,
you're missing a very, very key component of participation and feeling linked to
the solution.
Yeah. So if somebody in the middle of Minnesota can donate $10, this is what my aunt calls it to my mom. You actually steal her blessings if you're not allowing her to do that or him. You need to let people participate. You need to let you need to let people participate and be a part of the solution. And it's actually self-esteem comes from esteemable acts. Track your story.
I'm I want to say a million times, I'm so happy everyone's not like me.
I think that is a big point that no one really talks about. It's important for people to feel like they're contributing because otherwise they're like, well, then what does it matter? I don't matter.
Can't do anything.
Yeah. So you actually need to give people opportunities to feel like they have an impact.
We don't need a single more person like me. I'm just going to be honest about who I am, which is, you know.
No, we do. You're a very valuable member of this household.
Once every few months.
You have a lot. I've learned a lot.
Something needs lifting. Something needs wrenching on.
Someone needs to get some motorcycle ride.
I just brought that up in the fact check. I was saying we went for our first all 4 people family motorcycle ride.
I hope that's all you said.
I said that I don't know if the similarities between the 4 of us are more pronounced ever than you and Delta on a motorcycle and me and Lincoln on a motorcycle. It's like the starkest it gets, I think.
Delta and I are both on the verge of tears the whole time.
Yeah, it sounds scary.
Getting through it.
And the cortisol jolts are so strong. Although I did enjoy it.
You did a great job. And I was very supportive, wasn't I?
Yes, you were very supportive.
Yes. And I even yelled at Lincoln when she was making fun of her mom.
The whole time.
It was really fun.
Okay, I'm going to leave you. I love you.
I love you. Love you. Thank you for bringing my coffee.
Well, she tried to drop a controversy bomb right on my lap. People are going to be mad at me.
Well, okay.
Well, it's your fault.
Real quick, because we're going to wrap this one up fast. Just a few facts for Chelsea.
Okay.
So it got pushed to the 7th. Bitcoin today.
I wonder if it went up. The stock market took a shit with all this tariff war stuff.
Oh, it did not. It is at $97,274.
Oh my God.
You said she got a CO2 LASIK. You meant laser. That's a facial procedure to make your skin look young and fresh.
I hear everything always promotes collagen production. That's what I always hear.
Sure. My posture is bad, is a fact.
Oh.
And you gave me some back exercises to do. I did them once.
You did them? Mm-hmm. Is your posture all better? It's pretty good right now. Do you have shoulder pads in?
It's not good because it's also...
Does that have shoulder pads?
No.
Oh, wow.
Do my shoulders look huge?
They look back and powerful.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I also put my jeans smell.
Your jeans smell?
Yeah. They just smell like they haven't been washed because they haven't, because I learned you don't really have to wash your jeans, but I think you do have to wash your jeans because they start smelling.
You don't have to wash them, but you do have to pull your underwear out from the night before, or you'll end up wearing double panties.
That's fair. That we can do.
Double panties MCO.
All right. Well, that's that.
That was all the facts.
Yeah, for Chelsea.
All right. Love you.
All right. Love you.